very excited to talk to you. And you look very relaxed, by the way, too. Can I just say that?
My new vibe for doing press, like I spend
Yeah.
a lot of my day talking online and setting in different hotels. It's hard to find your setup. And I was like, why don't I start trying to just like make it as relaxed as possible? And perhaps someone will see this and go, well, that looks weird and pay attention when they wouldn't normally. So
That
mixing it
looks
up.
weird. We should watch your show. We should sponsor her.
What's
She,
this lady's problem? It looks
what's
like an episode of Intervention. Sometimes there's like, trash in my room and, burnt spoons. No, not yet.
well, it's
But
funny.
in
Go ahead. No, I've talked to so many comedians too, and it's interesting how they talk about how they nest into a room too. Do you have anything you do when you get into a room? How do you nest into a room? Being on the road,
That's
with
a
lot of
great
comedians.
question.
Yeah.
I love hotels so much. I literally designed my apartment to be like a hotel. So I do love them, even though I could not show you the rest of this room because it looks like a natural disaster passed through here and that there might be dogs buried beneath it. It's a mess. I really I create a hurricane when I come into a room, but I things that I do that I recommend is always take the top sheet off or that little runner at the bottom of your bed. Like get that out of there. I'm not someone who's really scared of germs. Like I eat at Subway. If you see me at, at the like we're washing our hands next to each other in a public restroom, I'm probably like not really trying my hardest. And I'm only doing it because you're there. Like I'm kind of a gross person, but there are things in hotel rooms that you cannot deny. Like I'm not going to lay my face on one of those pillows. Those pillows don't get washed. They have a print on them that like, I know what prints can hide stains. I trust towels. I trust the white linens that I'm like, those have been bleached. Because I know they have because I leave spray tan stains on all of them and I don't get charged for towels. So I know that they do amazing work. All of my spray tan towels, I mean, it looks like I murdered an Oompa Loompa and I'm covering up the crime scene. That's what my bathroom looks like in every hotel I go to, like footprints of spray tan because I really depend on spray tan and I definitely will this weekend in Vegas because I'm getting gussied up and I dress like a pop star when I do theaters because it's the only way to like let that side out of myself. So I'm really excited more than anything. And I'm excited about a lot about my performance. I finally get to wear a dress that I ordered off Instagram in a targeted ad like 4 months ago. And I knew that I would save it for the perfect occasion. I'm like, this weekend, I'm like, yes, I get to break out the pink dress. And I'm praying it fits me. I'm just going to, I have a backup, but I'm really excited for what I'm wearing, which I know is like one of the girliest things I've ever said. But don't worry, I'm going to say really ungirly things in that girly dress. But I do love that part of Vegas is just like dressing up and treating it specially, like in a special way. And also, this is a very big performance for me because it is the last show I will be doing before I have vocal cord surgery. I'm going under the laser and next week. And this is the last I'm having my vocal cords repaired from just like damage of talking too much. It doesn't hurt. I'm not performing and it doesn't hurt me. So I'm fine. But I also want to try doing like a singing songwriting career perhaps. And I have to have my vocal cords like worked on and I need a break, frankly. So I can't talk for 3 weeks and
Wow.
I talk incessantly. And so this is my last show until after I recover, or if the doctor, is having a bad day, it might be the last time I talk ever. And so it's thrilling and scary and exciting in all those ways. But I don't think many people don't talk for 3 weeks at a time. And so it's going to be like a very trippy experience that I'm gearing up for. But and stand-up is such a huge part of my life that I have done, obsessively and consistently for so many years that I don't know what it's going to be like without it. So I'm treating it like I'm saying it's like my Cher farewell tour where she was like, I'm going away, but she's like, and it could be forever, but it's probably not. But I definitely, I will sound different afterwards. I'm going to sound like a Disney princess with my new voice. I'm getting a voice lift.
Oh,
and
that's
maybe,
cool.
maybe a face one too, if they, can throw it in, toss it in while they do it.
So
No,
we're
that's that.
more Disney princess, less Kathleen Turner, right? So is that where we're going?
Exactly. I've always had a husky voice and I get recognized for my voice more than anything. I mean, when people go, are you Nikki Glaser? They always go, I recognize your voice. So I'm a little worried that it's going to be like Jennifer Grey and her nose. Like I'm fixing this thing that is why people really like me and are endeared to me. but I really want to be able to sing more. Even if it's just karaoke, like I love singing so much and I'm very limited vocally. So I'm risking it all so I can, belt out Fiona Apple Criminal in a room with my friends on my birthday once a year.
Well, you do need a little huskiness note just to start out with. I've been a very bad girl. I've been a bad, bad girl. So you need that
Oh
huskiness
yeah.
to take it across with Fiona for sure. So,
I don't think I'll ever lose the huskiness. The huskiness is, I mean, I like to call it big boned, but yes, I will. I think that I will inhale enough spray tan that it will be as if I have emphysema anyway, even with healthy cords. So I'll definitely have a growl.
well, I will. As much as I'm looking forward to your show, I am going to stay upwind, not downwind, because spray tan smell does affect me emotionally for many different reasons throughout my past. So I'm going to stay.
I bet. It is a triggering smell for many men. I mean, it leaves behind like a body print that will haunt you, and the smell can be very unsettling when mixed with your own pH balance. So I do not smell as good as I look. I will say that, but it's, you can't win them all. And my boyfriend did get COVID. So I was leaning into, spray tans for a while, and he's regaining his sense of smell, and he had long COVID with like a diminishing smell. And I was like, yes, freedom. But that he's getting it back now. So I gotta cut down on the spray tans because there's a sense memory thing there where I was like, this is bringing up something for you with a girl in college. This isn't about me. Cause I know I also am triggered by smells in that way.
So if you're not going to talk for 3 weeks, is this where you're going to write that movie about the girl who couldn't talk, who finds love or something like that? Like, is this going to like inspire something within you?
Well, now I am. Like, you don't have that copyrighted, do you?
The other senses are going to like be, going to spread out more or something too. I'm not sure.
Yes, something's going to come of it. It's going to be a experience much like a psychedelic trip or something. I feel like I'm going to come out of it a more annoying person is what I mean by that. I'm going to come out. I will have made decisions about my life because I think that when me talking, it's a way to not have to think and be with my feelings and kind of ruminate. And talking is a way to obviously communicate. But for me, I think it's a little bit of an escape of like, oh, I don't want to think about that. So I think some thoughts will pop up that are going to be like, oh no, what did I do? Like I'll figure out a way to communicate. I'm going to learn sign language. I've downloaded the Duolingo. It could be a whole new life for me.
Very cool. Well, we're excited for you to be here. Virgin Hotels. It's going to be a great show one night tonight. So Friday night tonight is going to be your show. So excited.
Oh my God, it's going to be so fun.
And
meet and greets are also available.
Okay.
I want to say like I have 2 shows. So if you want to go and so I think it's $50 extra, you can meet me and you can have a conversation with me. I'm not like one of those meet and greets where it's like you have to stand behind me and just smile and like you don't get to make eye contact with me. I will make 3 minutes of eye contact with everyone. I actually demand it. It can get uncomfortable. No, it's a good meet and greet. I love meeting people. So I give you your money's worth. That sounds like I'm doing other acts that are legal to do in Vegas, but I will take a picture with you and just have a nice conversation. But you must bring me a gift. Honestly, that would be hilarious if I required that just to see how people could get creative there. So bring me a gift, even if it's like a little origami thing you make with a straw wrapper. I'll take anything. I love homemade gifts.
You need to leave it at the altar of Glaser right there. You gotta leave it there for me. Yeah, there's a certain tithing that it must be paid to be in the presence.
I like this. I think this is how my cult is going to start. This will be footage that they use someday in my documentary when they go, this is when she shifted, when she realized that she could have them, bequeath her gifts like the queen. But kiss the ring.
What's the number one, bring me a gift. First rule of the cults of Glaser? Is there a specific first rule that they must all follow or to live in the life of?
$25 Starbucks gift card. It is my currency. It is my love language. No, you know what? At meet and greets, I just like to, I don't care. Some people cry. Sometimes they get emotional because they're excited. Some people like don't care at all. Some people try to neg me by like being like, you were pretty funny. Like some people try to hit on me. Make of it what you want. Don't touch me inappropriately. That's all I ask. Like I don't want to have to sue you for $1. Like I don't want to pull a Taylor Swift because you want to, play grab ass. I've had people do that where they, Taylor Swift stood up for the women performers of the world who have guy creeps. And this happens to every woman, but like I meet hundreds of people a night. Most of my fans are so courteous, but earlier on in my days before I had my own fans and people would meet me after the show, just that happened to win free tickets. they would go, oh, I want to touch her. And then they do this thing where they hold your, this is the, if all creeps, listen up, this is how you do it. And you won't get caught, because I've had my friends go, I go, stare at my butt and watch this happen. And they still miss it. It's so subtle. So the guy just after the hug just dangles and makes his hand move down your butt. And it's too subtle to call out, because then he goes, no, I didn't. And he can, it's your word against his, much like everything. So you just have to kind of take it, and his wife is there, and it's a bigger deal to like call it out. But that does not happen to me anymore. It really is funny that happens when my fans are more respectful now. And if it does happen, you will definitely get called out. But, no one does that anymore. And you can say whatever you want to me. Like, I can pretty much verbally handle anything. Just, watch it with your hands.
Right. You need to have the hover hug where you're not actually touching someone at all. It's like these
I
3
like
or 4
hugging.
inches behind it, just a little bit off.
Hugging is fine. Even like around my shoulder, like I get in there. Like, I don't care if you like put your hand around my shoulder and touch me, just don't try to cop a feel. There's if you're trying to get some action on your hand, but otherwise you can grab me around the waist. Like, I know when someone's trying to like sneak an under boob, and when someone's just grabbing your waist. I mean, that's a natural place to grab. I don't mind it. But a lot of people do ask consent. It's like, it's a different world we're living in, and it's funny to make fun of it, but it's also like, it's still happening. There's still, and the men who are, good about stuff and would never imagine doing that, they literally can't understand that someone would try to do that. But there are a lot of men and women that can get handsy and try to sneak it. And it's such a weird phenomenon. But I've talked about it too much. Most of my show is not that. It is not me dodging creep feels. The rest of it is, I actually this weekend, I'm the host of F-Boy Island, and one of the contestants on the show who made it very far, and who, as a fan of the show, and I host the show, but I was glued to my TV watching the reality aspect of the show, which I didn't get to experience as the host. I just come in at the eliminations, but I did watching it. I was like, oh my God, this guy, Benedict Pelosi, is so funny. All of his like interviews are funny. And I knew he was a stand-up comedian, but I assumed like he probably wasn't good because he's just like, he's like too hot to be good at stand-up. Like he's shirtless. He works on his body too much, but he's really funny, and he did great on the show. And so he's opening for me. And so fans of F-Boy Island should definitely come out, because you'll get to see one of your favorite cast members. And I think some of the past cast members are just going to fly into town and like be there for it. So who knows what'll happen. It's going to be so fun. And then my friend Anya Marina is a singer-songwriter who is incredible and should be performing at a theater in her own right. And she opens for me. So it's like top to bottom, great show.
Awesome. Well, I know everyone's going to look forward to 100%, especially after your great hosting of Jimmy Kimmel, too, which looked like a ton of fun. I hope it was something, it's always something when you undertake something like that 1 minute after, like what was that joy, that 1 minute after everything was done, when it closed and you're like, it's done.
That's my favorite part. I love, because, not on my live shows. I feel when they're over, I'm kind of like, I'm exhausted. My feet hurt. But in terms of like, oh, thank God it's over, I feel like kind of like, oh, I could have kept going. But with something like that, it is really nice to just, that's the thing I look forward to most. People go, what are you excited about tomorrow? You're doing Kimmel. And I'm like, when it's over, because as long as it goes well, like the sense of accomplishment you have when you finally get alone and you take off that dress and you pull off your eyelashes and you just go, oh, wow, I just did a thing that was like very high pressure and it flew by. And now I'm back to my like normal self. It's very jarring, but it was so fun. And I think for the first time in my career, when I was faced with something that felt like, oh, this is a big deal, I approached it as like casually as possible. Like I really tried to treat it like, don't catastrophize this. Try to make this like, it's actually really fun to do. And if you don't have fun doing it, if you just stress about it, there's no point. This is just too fun to get to meet Danny DeVito and play talk show host for a night. And it felt like trying out something that I would want to do with my life, which is host a talk show someday, and have that be my 9 to 5. And so it felt like fun it was kind of like take your daughter to work day, where you're like, oh, this is how it's run. When I used to go with my dad to like the cable business, this is what it would be like. And I was like, I don't want that. But at Jimmy Kimmel Live, I was like, I could use this. It was awesome.
Well, I think that we all hope too that this kind of re-sparks some opportunity as well. Of course, Not Safe fans are always looking to see you on a regular basis. You come back and do those things too. So
yes.
Hopefully you'll get a chance to kind of recreate something that you think there's all these niches that need to be filled. So hopefully Nikki can fit into that. Before I have to let you go, can you tell us what can fans expect? They buy a ticket, they come to your show. What can they expect at your show?
honesty and great jokes, well-written jokes. Some jokes that aren't well written because they're new. You could expect some new material, which is really a I don't know if you've ever seen a comedian who's working on new material. Sometimes it can be self-indulgent and you're like, I didn't pay for an open mic, but I will not do that to you. If it's not going well, I will move on to the next thing. And it's kind of fun because you get to see jokes that like maybe I'll never say again because it's too far. Like it might be too much. And it's just a live experience that is like none other. And I just started doing it. I do like a little roast a little bit. But I really am just like up there playing around but also doing material that I've worked really hard on. And so if you watch my special Good Clean Filth on HBO Max that is currently out, you could watch that tonight. I don't know when this is airing, but you could watch it before you go see me. And so you get a sense of what I'm like if you're up for it. And then you probably won't see any of the jokes from that special. And I taped that, last year. I don't think I'm doing any of the same jokes. And if I am, they're just because I found new places to go with them and it's fun. So a lot of new material, but like stuff that I've been working on, for the last year. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're Las Vegas, so sometimes we're at the end of the run, or they record some specials here too.
Right.
Sometimes, so we always kind of wonder, like, are we seeing the Netflix special? Are we seeing this here too?
No, you're seeing early stages.
Oh, okay.
You're seeing an early stage. You're seeing the end of one stage because it's the end of the way my voice sounds right now, which might change my style on the back end. But material wise, you're seeing right now a great spot because the material I've been working, I taped my special in November. So since then I've been generating new material. But it's not perfect yet and it's still in development, but it's good enough that you're going to be entertained. So I need this audience. This is when live audiences are so crucial to build your act and decide what's funny or not. And it'll be cool to like go, oh, I saw see it on a special someday and be like, I think I saw that when it was not that joke. And so you'll hear finished material, but you'll also hear some new stuff too. I'm excited.
Right. Well, I have a lot of comedian friends and I talk to a lot of comedians because of Vegas. So I always kind of laugh. I said, comedians need to be able to like retire and have like the greatest hits. This is my greatest hits of all my sets. Let's go, people, kind of thing.
Yes. Well, let me just say that is why I want to transition into singing and songwriting, because you just play the hits and you can bring you can write new stuff and people will tolerate it, but it's not the pressure that a comedian feels to like, I can't give them something they've already heard, because comedy, to enjoy it, part of laughing is being surprised. You laugh as a response to like, that's surprising what I just heard. And when you've ruined the surprise and you see it coming, it no longer gives you the same laugh. There are jokes I like to hear retold and see other people hear them for the first time. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to love this. It's like pulling up a YouTube clip for someone and being like, watch it. Isn't it good? And you're like, oh wait, she's not doing it the way she did it when I saw it. But generally it is like, it's hard to be a comedian in that way, that you constantly have to make new stuff. And if you say one thing again, people go, it's just old material, and discount you. Whereas, I wish we had our version of Freebird.
Right. Well, you know what? I think fans will enjoy the acoustic Nikki Glaser set as well if it works out. So that's going to be
someday.
Fun.
It's coming. It's coming.
Well, I want to thank you very much for talking with us. I'm sure everyone is excited to go tonight to go see you, Virgin Hotel.
Yes.
We're also excited to see what Instagram dress drew the eye, and you're excited to bring out.
So stay tuned.
We're going to check that out as well. But I want to thank you so much for talking with us, and I hope you have an amazing time here in Las Vegas. It should be a very fun weekend.
Thank you. I will have the best time. I always do. See you at the show. Bye, guys.